All right, my friends, welcome back to another BJJ review. Today I'm reviewing this DVD called Hingertine, Guillotine Concepts. This is by Josh Hinger. Combine the two, Hinger and Guillotine, you have Hingertine. And Josh does some unique things with his variation of the guillotine, which is an arm-in guillotine that he does, and his hand placement and some of the things he does to finish it really are explained very well in this. Congratulations to Josh. He just recently won No-Gi Worlds at his weight class. Very impressive accomplishment, and it's really great to have him share some of his insight and what he does in his game in this DVD. I really think that Josh really shares everything with us as far as this guillotine goes and how he is able to perform it so well. And I really don't think he left anything out that would be missing from this. What is the Hingertine? So you have a guillotine, you have your opponent's head stuck in here, and you're pulling on this, you're pushing down with your legs and pulling up with your arms. It really feels like you're trying to just chop off the person's head. It can be a very energy intensive move. You're really using your whole body to create that movement and create a lot of pressure. The arm-in guillotine is different from that because you have, if your head have their head here, you have their arm over here, and so if you pull up, you don't finish it because a lot of that upward energy gets dumped into their armpit. So really the arm-in guillotine is, you're really going to be twisting towards their head, and really it's more like a vice that you're putting on them. You're really driving their neck down, their chin down to their chest. So first one's like a guillotine, second one's more like a vice. Now let's look at the Hingertine, which is kind of like a chin strap guillotine. It's different than the arm-in guillotine, but it's the same setup. You have their arm here, their head's over here. The hand placement is different, and the finish is different. So really, as the finish is going on, it feels like you're really trying to narrow down just a part of your thumb onto their throat, and very slowly and deliberately drive that into their neck. It really feels more like a scalpel compared to the big guillotine or the vice. It's very surgical and precise technique. Not that it's hard, but it's not a big movement thing. So at the beginning of the DVD, he has a great introduction of like 4 basic concepts that you have to have done. So I think of it like a checklist. I gotta have my leg in the right spot, have my hand placed correctly, both of them, my elbow is good, my shoulder is where it needs to be. I get all these things done, and then I go ahead and go and apply the pressure to the throat. So if you can check those 4 things off, then you go ahead and do the technique. It really does feel like almost like a scalpel compared to the big guillotine motion. Still get the tap, still get the choke, but it's a lot less energy that you have to put in to finish it. Oftentimes, I've had this DVD for about 3 weeks, and I've had a great experience on the mat with it so far. And oftentimes my training partners will say, I didn't think you had it, I felt no pressure. And I think when they're feeling no pressure and they're thinking I don't have it, I'm still checking off the 4 big things. I'm getting my shoulder placed where it needs to be. I'm making sure my hands are good. My foot's where it needs to be so they don't jump over. And kind of checking this checklist off, making everything right, and then applying the pressure. And if you do all of the things he teaches at the beginning of this DVD, during the introduction, it's really hard to get out of this thing, and it really does kind of come on suddenly and with very little that they can do. So it's been a very interesting choke for me to pick up, and this DVD did a great job explaining that. The bulk of the DVD is him showing you ways to get into this position. A lot of them are going to be from the guard. So great guard attacks here. Variations on how to set up and capture the head and their arm and apply the pressure from there. He also has a section about guard passes. He's got a good half guard pass that leads right into this. And I've had some luck with that already. And not that I've been working on it, I've kind of been focusing more on just the guard attacks. But sometimes I'm not playing guard, I'm on top, and a lot of my teammates will train half guard, and I've had a lot of luck grabbing the chin and being able to start the Hingertine from the half guard on top. It's been great. So he really shows you a lot of guard attacks, some passing attacks. Then he has some stuff from side control and turtle, mount, kind of different things from there as well as far as the Hingertine would go. All this is all in the gi, which is nice to have the no-gi world champion showing you his gi side. none of this is gi specific. So if you're just strictly 100% a gi person, this DVD is still a great option for you. He's not grabbing lapels and controlling sleeves, all that sort of thing. There might be a little bit of that in there, but not that I really even noticed. All the Hingertine, the arm and guillotine, the guillotine are all great. Gi, no gi, doesn't matter. Not reliant on one or the other. He does have a bonus section, which kind of surprised me at the end of this DVD. It's in no gi. He shows a turtle attack that is the arm and guillotine, which is different than the Hingertine style with the chin strap. So you get to see how he finishes the arm and guillotine. Great details there as well. He shows back attacks and standing, how to catch this from standing. He even shows a nice drill with a partner from standing, how to set it up. So it's all good. It's bonus. I didn't realize that was on there. One of the things that he refers to routinely in the DVD is probably the biggest way people escape this is they end up grabbing what is just your pinky, which is illegal. I don't think he says that in the DVD, but it's illegal. But the problem is the ref can't see it, and really even good teammates of mine have just been in that panic mode where they're just grabbing at my hand. So your hand is actually coming underneath and ending up like this. So all they're able to grab at is just that pinky sometimes. You don't want your pinky grabbed ever in jiu-jitsu. It's a small bone and it'll break. So when they do grab my pinky, I end up letting go and trying to reset before that happens. Now, he does have a way to not have this happen, and it's the second hand comes in and covers that pinky. At the beginning, the first week and a half or so, I was struggling getting that second hand in time before they would grab my hand, or a lot of times grab my pinky. I kind of cheated a little bit. I would tape my 2 fingers together, making it not an option just to grab one. You'd have to at least grab 2. Made it safer for me, made it a lot less likely they would just get that pinky and be able to get out. And another great thing that the tape did for me is it reminded me that I'm working on my Hingertine. So every time I look at my hand, or every time I feel that they were stuck together, I'm looking for that guillotine variation that I just learned. And it was a great reminder, because it's hard to remember sometimes while you're rolling live that you're working on something specifically, and you got to have that reminder. So that the tape on the fingers helped me technically from getting my pinky grab, and also helped me mentally remember that I'm working on something in particular. So I recommend, tape these fingers together while you're first trying this out. It'll stop their most likely escape, and it reminds you to do it a little bit. Why I like this DVD so much, I think I have a little bit of an advantage going into this because I already like the arm and guillotine. And Josh explains why there's an advantage to the arm and guillotine. Basically, they only have one arm to fight this with, because the other arm is tucked in here and is deep. It's an overhook on that arm. That arm's out of play. That arm should not be involved with defending your hands. So they have one hand to defend your 2, and it's a lot of great control. And also, with the arm and guillotine, I've been doing that for quite a while now. It just, like a lot of times with the guillotine, it felt like you're working and you just see the back of their head start to slip out, and then it really gets beyond that point and their head pops out. With the arm and guillotine, you have so much more material in there. The odds that their head's going to slip out, that's not how they get out of that anyway. It's hard to just pop your head out of the arm and guillotine. And so the same falls true for the Hingertine. Once you grab that chin, once you're here and you got your checklist of things he has at the beginning checked off, they're in a ton of trouble. And like my teammates have said, I really didn't realize I was in it that deep until you applied a little bit of pressure, and suddenly they're coughing and gagging down there. So I think I did have a big advantage having a good arm and guillotine. The arm and guillotine is not hard to set up, so it's not some elaborate thing you're having to do to get to it. Just grab their arm overhook style and wrap up their head. So even if you don't have a great arm and guillotine, I think this would be a good addition for you. I'm trying to avoid techniques that I won't be able to do in 10 years from now. I'm confident that this is a very technical choke, but it's not a very physical thing where I'm needing to roll up onto my neck or do something that requires flexibility or anything crazy. This is a choke, pretty much, physically speaking, anyone should be able to do. Technically you can always get better at it, and Josh, of course, is probably the best at it, but no reason that somebody shouldn't be able to pull this off. It's nothing that tricky, physically speaking. And he does a great job of explaining that. This DVD does get a recommendation from me. You can get it at thefighthub.com. Check it out there. Josh really does give his all and really shares with you a deep part of his game that has got him so much success and translates great in both gi and no gi. And I do recommend it. Anybody blue belt or above, it's going to be a great addition to your guard attacks, and it might even help you a little bit with your passing. I've started to mess around with passing the half guard and using it. There's definitely some stuff in there that will be good for me as I go back and look at it and try to pick up in my game. White belt, sure, it's not like it's too tricky to do, but you do need to be able to have a guard that you could maintain for a little while to try to get this set up. So if your guard is still getting blown through, this may, any attack is hard. But to get a DVD just about one particular attack may not be just for you just yet. You need to be able to maintain your guard, recover your guard, and really work from there. So one specific DVD about a particular type of guillotine, which is an arm-in guillotine, which is a particular variation of the arm-in guillotine, may be a bit much for white belts, but white belts who have been at it for a while, who have a decent guard, absolutely no problem. It's not like your instructor's going to say, oh, you're doing that too much crazy fancy stuff. This is not crazy fancy stuff. It's an arm-in guillotine that has a slight variation that really applies a lot of pressure in a small amount of area with minimal effort, from my experience. And I'm loving it. My training partners maybe not so much, but I really am enjoying this. To get the most out of this DVD, here's my plan. I watched it about 3 weeks ago, half of it, in a couple days, and then another half of it later on that week, and tried to absorb it. The guard stuff I was able to pick up rather easily because my arm-in guillotine. I think you could probably pick up a couple of the guard attacks as well, based on the type of guard you like to play and how your training partners try to pass it. Try to pick this up, start getting them in training. If you could have a friend at home or a spouse or roommate, whoever, to practice these on physically at the house, that definitely helps you a lot. If you don't, you can still do this. I mean, you do have a pretty good advantage walking into class and nobody else has seen this DVD and pulling these off. It's not like the instructor just showed the entire class how to do this and everyone's got their awareness high. No, it's a bit of a surprise for your training partner. So that does make it a little easier to pull off. You tape your fingers. That'll give you a good reminder, bare minimum, that you're going to be working on your arm-in guillotine or your Hingertine today. That's a chin strap guillotine, I should say. That's a good reminder. So you don't forget while you're rolling that you're trying to do something specifically. It's a good reminder. And for myself, I plan on doing this for quite a while and getting to be proficient at it. I expect in a few months, most of my teammates will have kind of figured out how to deal with this a little bit better. So right now it's really not that hard, but it won't take them long. They'll talk to each other. They'll talk to me. I'll try to help them out, how to counter this the best I can. And so its success will fade a little bit. That's the time when I need to put this DVD back in the DVD player and watch it again. And the second time around, I'll be able to pick up details that I couldn't pick up the first time because I didn't understand it, because I wasn't running into the counters. He shows a lot of stuff. Once he does this, then you could go ahead and transition to here. Well, a lot of times my training partners aren't able to do that because they don't know that yet. So there's a lot of value in watching this DVD a second time, months down the road. Once you've had that, the high was nice, and now your training partners have picked up and you're not doing so well with it, that's the time to go pop it in and watch it again, and you'll pick up a lot more details and maybe some more steps that you couldn't absorb. Trying to absorb a lot of stuff while you're not in the classroom, it can be difficult. So that's my recommendation. Absolutely, if you like attacking from the guard, if you want a couple different variations on your guard passes that lead to a lot of pressure on their training partner's neck. Another great thing, once you grab that chin, people start to worry about that. They react. They don't just ignore that. They're worried you're going to choke them. So it gets a reaction. So things open up from there as well. But definitely recommend this DVD. Check it out. It's helped me a ton, and I think it could do the same for you. Check us out for other videos related to reviews and other podcast stuff. We're on the BJJ Break podcast. That's a weekly show that we have a lot of fun on. Hope you like the video, my friends, and subscribe to the channel.